Good morning. It is Friday, so this is a good time for us to use this session to do some good relaxing that you can do this morning after work, before bed. It's kind of a nice way to let go of the week, of the work week, and all of the stress, and leave that all behind and transition into the weekend, whatever that might be for you, even if it's work or, a lot of stuff to do around the house. That's okay. You still can take a time, even if you just do it in segments, to use these stretches to kind of help you unwind any time of the day and just let go of the past. Today is the start of a new month, so let's set our intentions on making this a great month for renewing ourselves, for opening our minds, expanding to new possibilities, inviting positivity and good things into our lives, and to focus on healing if you need to heal, strengthening if you need to get stronger, and grounding, balancing. Let's just make this a good intention of improving our lives and our health. Okay, so let's begin in a nice simple cross-legged pose, however you're comfortable. Letting the hands rest on the knees, and just close the eyes. Let those shoulders relax. Try to keep that back nice and straight, expanding and opening through the chest. Sitting bones firmly planted into the ground. And let's just take some nice deep breaths in and out. And when you're ready, let's just start with a nice stretch. Bringing that left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. If you can, look over that right shoulder. Back to center. And right hand to left knee, left hand behind. And back to center. Let's reach those arms out in front, keeping the sitting bones down. And just release the shoulders, relax the head and the neck. Ground those sitting bones into the ground as you try to extend through the fingers. And then just walk the hands over that left side. If you can, get the hands on each side of that left knee. If you can't, just bring them to where you can, as long as you can keep that right hip down. And then back to center. And over to the right side. And back to center. And slowly come back up. And We're gonna grab a strap, so if you need a second to go grab a strap or a belt or a scarf, whatever you wanna use, go right ahead. We're gonna do some really good deep arm stretches and chest openers. So when you're ready, just take the strap in both hands and wrap the hands into it, leaving about that much slack or whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can adjust it at any time. So we're just gonna take a nice deep breath in and bring the arms overhead. And the key to get a really good stretch with this is just to gently press back with those hands, and then you'll feel the difference that leaning forward and pressing back can make. So we want to keep those hands pressed back and just take a few nice deep breaths here. And then we're just going to slightly bend to that left side. And you can go down as far as you want, as long as that right side can stay on the floor. And back to center. And then to the right side. And back to center. And take a couple more deep breaths here. And then slowly release the arms back down. And we're going to set this strap to the side. And we're just going to take the hands behind the back, interlocking the fingers, opening the chest, relaxing those shoulders back. And you can bring the arms up behind you slightly, and then just lean forward a little bit, keeping that butt on the floor. So if you can't get forward as far as you'd like, that's okay. We'll get there, we'll work into it. Just go to where you can and take some nice deep breaths. And then slowly come back up. Release those arms. And we're going to take that left arm, bending the elbow, place that left hand on your left shoulder, hold on to the elbow with your right hand and just gently stretch it back. You don't have to push it back with force or very hard at all. Just gently place it back. Take some nice deep breaths. Try to relax the neck here and the shoulders. And then slowly release. You might notice that you get some tingling or numbness even in the hands and arms when you do these stretches overhead, and that's okay. That's normal. We carry so much tension up in this quadrant of our bodies that it's normal and natural for those nerves to get compromised. And when you elevate your arms suddenly, sometimes the blood flow almost gets, slowed down just because there's so much holding it back here. It's so much tension. So don't let that alarm you. And we're going to bring the right arm back, right hand on the shoulder, left hand on that right elbow, gently pressing. And then slowly release and shake those arms out. We're going to extend the legs out in front. And I'm going to use my strap. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to take it around the feet and just wrap my hands up in it once for now. And while you're here, before we go into our forward fold, try to keep those shoulders back. Try to keep that back nice and straight. Ground those sitting bones into the floor and just take a nice deep breath in. And then on the exhale, you can slowly lower down. You can wrap your hands in the strap as you go, whatever works for you. Try to keep those toes pointed towards the ceiling and just let the body relax. If you start to get too much tension or pain behind the knees, you can bend the knees a little bit. And we're going to slowly come back up. And the thing when we're just focusing on stretching and releasing like this morning, you don't have to speed through these things. In fact, you want to take as much time as you can. So if you replay this at a later time, you can always pause it or stop it and go back and hold some of these stretches longer, because the longer you do hold them, the more beneficial they are. So I'm going to take that strap around the right foot, bending that left leg down. And again, letting my chest open, shoulders back, back straight. And then just slowly come down over that right leg, toes pointed towards the ceiling. And just breathe into it. And then very slowly come back up. And we're just going to switch feet. So take that strap around the left foot. Go ahead and bend that right leg down. Same thing here. Get your body in position, so shoulders back, chest open. And then slowly come down over that left leg. And you can use your breath here to try to get a little deeper into the stretch each time you exhale. And then slowly come back up. We're just going to set that strap to the side. And we're going to slowly come up into a standing forward fold. And again, when you do these, just try to release the weight of your head and your shoulders. Just let the arms hang loose. If you want to bend your knees here, you can. And then slowly roll all the way up. And we're going to keep the feet just about shoulder width apart. We're just going to take a nice deep breath in. Take that left wrist in your right hand and stretch to the right. back to center, release, arms up, right wrist in the left hand, and stretch to the left. And back to center, and release. We're going to step the feet a little bit wider than shoulder width. And we're just going to hinge forward at the hips, letting the arms drop down towards the ground. If this is uncomfortable, you can also bend the knees and rest the elbows on the legs. And just take some nice deep breaths here. We're going to keep that left hand on the ground and just extend that right hand up. And if it's comfortable for your neck, you can look up towards those right fingers or just look down. And then release. Right hand goes down, left hand goes up. And back to center. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Bring the feet back together. And let's just take a nice inhale, arms out. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, release. And we're going to come back down into a squat and just sit here for a minute. You can either keep your hands on the floor or bring the hands to the knees. Back nice and straight. Just take a couple nice deep breaths here, getting some good release for that lower back. And then go ahead and come down to a seated position. We're going to come over onto the hands and knees. And from here, we're just going to step that right foot between the hands. And we're going to lift that left leg up. And when you're doing these runner stretches, you want to just make sure that your knees always stay behind the toes so that you're not overextending. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And we're going to drop that left leg down and just bring the palms up to that right leg, just above the right knee. And you can lean forward a little bit. That'll really get a good stretch for that left hip flexor and left leg, as long as you keep your knees behind those toes. And then we're just going to come down, bringing the hands to the inside of that left or that right leg. And then bring that right hand back over to the right side of the right foot. And go ahead and step that right leg back. And bring the left foot forward. Lift that right leg up into a runner stretch. Knee stays behind the toes. And then drop that right knee down. And bring the hands up to that left knee. pressing gently down into that knee or into the leg, opening the chest. And then bring both hands to the inside of that left foot. And then bring the left hand over to that left side again. Step that left leg back. We're just going to relax into a nice child's pose here for a couple of minutes. And I want you to just really focus on releasing the tension all through the spine, out through the shoulders and the arms. So just go ahead, reach those arms forward, and you can actively keep stretching during this just by simply moving the fingers a little bit deeper each time you exhale. Just let the head rest down. And then we're slowly going to come up onto the elbows and just push that butt back, letting the head rest down. And then move all the way forward. We're going to come down onto the belly. And we're going to come down onto the chest, keeping the hands just about in line with that chest. And just slowly push yourself up just to where you can feel a good stretch through that spine. If it's too much, stay at your elbows. And come back down. And then slowly push yourself back up to hands and knees. And we're going to come all the way down into a reclined position. And we're going to do a figure four stretch, which is excellent for any lower back or hip or sciatic issues. So we're just going to start with that right ankle over the left leg. It's just above the left knee. Lift the left foot, take the hands between the legs, and just gently hold on and gently pull on this left leg. Now, your body will tell you when to stop, so be sure to be mindful of what your body is telling you instead of how far you want to stretch. And there's not a lot of movement or gain as far as depth in the stretch. So you might, if you bring your left knee or leg in towards you, it might only be an inch, maybe a couple, and that's okay. That's not the focus. The focus is just getting this relaxed position in order to release back here. So let's just take some nice deep breaths. And then slowly release. Bring that right foot to the floor. Cross that left leg over. Hold on to that right leg and slowly bring it in. And you're probably going to notice a lot more tension in one side or another, and that's completely normal. And slowly lower that leg back down. Bring both feet to the floor, and we're gonna move into our happy baby, which is excellent for stretching out and releasing through the entire lower body. So bring those knees in towards the chest, and if you can, hold on to your toes or your ankles or your calves, and just gently press the knees down towards you. Take a couple deep breaths here. Go ahead and rock from side to side. And just keep breathing. Couple more nice deep breaths. And then slowly bring the feet back together. Drop the feet to the floor. We're going to extend that left leg out, bending that right knee into the chest. Just give it a good squeeze, letting those shoulders relax into the floor. And then slowly release. And bend that left knee in, squeezing the left knee into the chest. And release. And then let's bring both knees into the chest, just giving them a nice hug. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed down. And then go ahead and bring the feet back down. Extend those legs out. Extend the arms out behind your head, trying to let the shoulders stay on the floor. And let's just take a couple nice deep breaths, stretching out through the fingertips and out through the toes. If you want, you can also point your toes towards the ceiling and extend out through the heels. And then bring the hands and arms all the way around. Let the hands rest on the belly. Let the feet open and relax. And just take a couple nice deep breaths here. Feeling the deep inhales and exhales. Expanding the belly on each inhale and letting it empty on each exhale. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. And then let's bring those feet back to the ground. Bring the knees in and slowly roll yourself up. And come back into a simple cross-legged pose. And let's keep those shoulders back, chest open, eyes closed. And just take a moment to release any tension that you're still feeling in your body. Let's take a nice deep breath in, arms up, and exhale. And one more time, inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's keep the hands together and bring them down to the chest. Thank you for stretching with me today. Namaste.